can you introduce yourself again to the mic?
Hi, is this thing on? Hey, I'm Jamie Thomason. I'm the casting director and the voice director, and I'm also an EP on it and one of the co-writers.
Aside from the fact that this happens to be a biblical tale, the second thing that kind of jumps out at you is the voice cast. Wow.
Yeah, really fortunate. Had some good people. Remember when I was at Disney, we'd always say, the biggest name on the marquee is Disney. And in this case, the biggest name is, Jesus. um,
This
and some really big movie stars. Um, but what was the question? Was there a question?
no, it was just no. I was just what the heck was that like? I mean, you got every important voice there. You got Mark Hamill is in this.
Mark Hamill. I've worked with Mark a million times, for years, and he's great at it. We needed someone who could have fun with the character of King Herod, and King Herod really was kind of a buffoon. He wasn't a real king. He was a political appointee, and he was very nervous about losing his power. Anyway, so Mark was great for having fun with the bluster of it, gravelly. If you're a fan of the Joker, you'll recognize some of the layering, some of the gravel in King Herod's voice. But Mark's great. I've worked with him, a million times. Pierce Brosnan I've worked with before. He was great as Pontius Pilate. Everybody. Ken as Dickens, Kenneth Branagh, Sir Ken. Don't call him Sir Ken. But Ken as Dickens. Ken is in real life, is a student of Dickens, absolute expert. He should teach a college course, but he's busy. He's directed at least one, I think, two movies with the character, of Charles Dickens, in the movie. So he's directed movies, directing an actor playing Charles Dickens, and now smash cut to me, this idiot, directing him playing Charles Dickens. He was very, very gracious. That was a factor. That and the fact that he's, one of the greatest actors of all time, and certainly greatest actors, living actors of our time. That was pretty cool too. So, he was just a natural. He was a dream come true, playing Dickens. And then just down the line, when we offered to Uma Thurman, she said yes right away. Very, very gracious. And then her agent said, she said something. She said, "This movie needs to be made. This movie needs to be done. The story needs to be told." Which I thought was so sweet and a very simple, sweet, profound, little statement. She's awesome. And again, just down the line, everybody. Ben Kingsley as Caiaphas. Let's just say he knew who Caiaphas was. It's very simple. He's not a villain. Of course not. Why don't we just kill him? Simple. And then ultimately, Oscar as Jesus. Oscar almost couldn't do it. At first, the schedules weren't working, and excuse me, I've been on this movie for 7 years, so things got stretched because of COVID, and so ultimately we were able to circle back, and then he was able to do it, and as a dream come true, I knew that he had a very profound understanding of Jesus in general from his childhood. And plus, one of the unique things, from a casting perspective, casting Jesus is Jesus was an incredibly charismatic guy, right? But not charismatic like, hey, he was very just standing there. People were drawn to him, and guess what Oscar Isaac is like? He's that. Just in the room, there's a charisma. You're just drawn to him, and so that combined with again his very deep understanding of the material. His first movie was he played Joseph, and circle to this one where he's playing Jesus. Um, I remember walking down the street in New York on my way to the first recording session with him, and walking past a newsstand, and there's a GQ magazine there with Oscar's big movie star face, and right next to it it says "Cool Jesus." And I thought, what? If that's not a sign, and the magazine was from. At first I thought, how did they know? And I looked at it, and it was from years earlier. Um, so I took a picture of it and showed it to him, and I have only referred to him as Cool Jesus since then. And he is. He's Cool Jesus.
Take us through the process a little bit. I mean, does somebody hand you the script and you see these characters, you're like, oh, I got that voice, this voice, that guy. Is it really that simple?
It's just that simple. It is just that simple. I only stretch it out, to take a year or so just to make it look like yeah, exactly. No, in a way, it is that simple. I read the script. In this case, I had a good sense of who many of the characters were, but they make a sort of wish list, and for this movie in particular, I knew the subject matter was its blessing and its curse. It was going to be the reason that some people were drawn to it and wanted to do it, and it would also be the reason that some people would not want to do it, which is great, which is fine. But we were, I'll just say, very fortunate. I've been doing this for a couple of years, 35 something more. But I have some agents that I've been working with for decades, and but ultimately, people just responded to the script, and they wanted to be part of it.
What's bigger, casting Jesus or Batman?
Yeah, at Disney we used to talk about that too, because everybody has their own personal view, whatever. Casting Mickey Mouse or Santa Claus or Batman, everyone has their own personal connection to it. So often, no matter what, some people are going to love it, some people are going to hate it. And let's just say casting Jesus wasn't that, but a little bit more. But it's Oscar Isaac as Jesus. Are you kidding me? Another one, hands down, one of the greatest living actors. Him and Kit Branagh in the same movie with Uma Thurman and Mark Hamill, Pierce Brosnan, Forrest Whitaker, Ben Kingsley. I think I counted. I think it was 14 Oscar nominations and 4 Oscars, and then countless Golden Globes. And Ken actually, 2 years ago, I guess, set the record. He has the world record for being nominated in more categories than any other person in history. He's been nominated in 7 different categories, and it's all the big ones: Best Actor, Best Supporting, Director, Best Picture. Writer, I think, for adaptation and
there might be a special effects in there. I think
could be. Probably.
Did you? Did you bring? Did you have a Christian background when you came into this project? And did it matter or does it matter?
I guess I wouldn't know if it didn't matter, because I do. I grew up going to church. My eldest brother's actually an Episcopal priest, and when we were young, going to church, he used to tease me and call me Jamie Thomason, junior priest, because I was one of those kids that carried all the. But I was sort of in charge, the head kid, kettle carrier guy. And so I was always services. So, and I used to be so, yeah, I grew up in the church. Was that important? I don't know. Did it add a fulfilling aspect? You know, for me personally, yeah. Particularly because we were telling the story in a unique way, which I really appreciated.
So, Jamie, as far as the casting process, is there an unwritten rule in Hollywood where you have to go through their agent, or can you actually, if you know that actor, you just pick up the phone and ask them if you worked on this project?
The answer is yes. You can do both.
Do both.
So, I call Mark at home. But no, the actual official answer is yeah, you go through their agent or manager sometimes. And that's how it's done. Yeah. But it's not cool to go behind an agent's back.
Was there somebody that you wanted?
Say again?
Was there somebody that you wanted that you couldn't get?
For this movie?
Yes.
I don't think so. I don't know. Is there somebody you want that's not in this cast?
Everyone's in it. I think, yeah.
Yeah, it's so unique, right?
I see what's going on. 1 second.
There you go.
We almost had a technical problem.
Yeah. No. It's, again, just incredibly blessed. Actors really, really responded to the script. Because again, it's this, this important, profound, very well-known story and characters. But the story being told in this, unique way, from this unique angle. And it's just a really great combination, and people were, very interested. So that, and of course, they're dying to work with me.
Are you allowed to talk about the next upcoming project?
No. You can ask about it if you want.
Yeah, what do you got coming out next?
Oh, boy. Wait. I don't know. If you know what I've done, it's related to some stuff that I've done.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you. I think
We're getting the hook.